welcome back to my channel. And today, heartbreaking, sad something, because of late I get to hear or see videos of people being abused, domestic abuse. And it's one of the things I don't really get to understand, because if something is happening, people find it hard to voice out. Why? Because once you voice it out, people have their own stance of making you feel bad about yourself, making you feel less worthy. They tend to spread it and they make mockery of you. And so people being faced with some sort of abuse tend to be in their own small corner and bear it until we hear they've passed on, or severe bruising or wounds or something. Then it's all out there. One thing I always get to hear is, oh, the ladies are being abused. What about the men? Some men are also being abused. What about them? I don't want to be that person that would always want to side with the women, because most of the time we are vulnerable. Most of the time we are the weaker vessel. But just that sometimes it's the women in some relationships that wear the pants in their relationships, and so yes, they tend to be monsters. And so it looks like it's a whole ball game here and there. Domestic abuse. What do you do when you're faced with such? Someone said something, I don't know who said it, but it actually makes sense. Leave before you leave. Yes, you leave before you leave, because if you don't leave that situation, if you don't move from that situation, you end up leaving this world, and then that person that's abusing you would definitely move on. That being said, it's understandable when it comes to mental health. Some people are being, in some sort of toxic state where they've been used to that situation, and until they are being abused, they don't feel okay. That's the sad and then mind-blowing thing about abuse. When they tend to be abused for some certain time, like point in time, it gets to a point where they become used to it, and so when they aren't abused, they find it uncomfortable. Those people actually need help. Okay, so they find it uncomfortable, and it's really sad. Honestly, very, very sad. It's the saddest thing. The saddest thing, and it puts me on that train where you sit down to think that if this is what life is about, what else are we living for? If you don't like someone, why going for the person? If you think you are fed up with the person, why not just leave? I honestly, abuse is something that I wouldn't wish on anyone. There are different forms of abuse, okay? Different forms. But this domestic, abuse going on in the country, in the world, this person's being beaten up by his spouse, or his spouse beat him up, or tortured him, all those kind of things, and it makes me wonder, the people around, do they actually get to check up on their people? Even though some people, I get it that some people want to protect their homes and they don't want their matters out there. But in as much as we want to protect our homes, we want to still keep the name we have. Okay, it's better to at least find someone of a reputable, deed to speak to, someone you can actually confide in, someone that has some sort of wisdom to help you come out of such situations, either to speak to your spouse or even if it ends up in divorce. I know people feel like divorce is a bad thing, somehow I can't say. In some ways it's good, in some other ways too it's a bad thing in our setting. Okay, in our setting. And so they don't want to leave the marriage, and then people will be spreading rumors here and there about what's true and what's not true, adding their own spice to it. And so they tend to stay. Some too is because of the kids, that's why they are there. Honestly speaking, if it is about your kids, you would have to step up. If you have to leave, it's better to leave and take the full responsibility of your kids. In this trying and hard situations, economic situations at hand, is really difficult, very difficult. But if you're willing to, step up and then take care of your kids, it shouldn't be the kids that's why you are there. So if you die, what happens to the kids? Right now we can't even trust our own kids with family members, because there are several stories out there that family members, even close relatives, have abused their families, kids, wives, spouse. It's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. And so yes, my advice is, if you're being abused, please speak up. If you're being abused, find someone you can confide in. If you're being abused, don't wait till it's too late. Because too late, when it's too late, there wouldn't be anything else. All the suffering, all the cries, all the pain, all the hurts will follow you down to the grave. And after that, what next? Honestly, domestic abuse shouldn't be something that we have to go through. If you're tired of your family, if you're tired of your relationship, if you're tired of whatever situation, please leave. Leave to live. Leave so that you don't leave. Honestly, it's a sad something, but this is where we'd have to end it today, and I'll see you all in another video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And thank you very much for the support. Leave your comments below and your suggestions too. See you.